What's good, y'all? Welcome to the first video of 2025 on my personal channel. As you guys can tell by the title, Auntie's passed away. I called her Auntie Samantha. That is also Ricardo's mom. I feel indifferent. I feel like I've cried enough, so I won't cry on camera or anything like that. I didn't expect this, but at the same time, subconsciously and spiritually, I did. If you guys are not aware, right, I've talked about this so many times. I've been talking about all my family updates for the past couple years. Auntie Samantha came to the States every break, typically the summer. Last year, she came more in the fall into the winter. This time right now, as I'm filming this, was the time she was here last year, before my dad got sick and he ended up in the hospital. And I remember she was sick herself, but she was getting better because I was taking care of her. I was taking her to the doctor. I was taking her outside for walks and stuff like that. But she was so worried about my dad being sick because he was sitting there lying and hiding the fact that he was sick. And this was around the time, like he came around the 10th. And that's when I went to go visit him in the hospital. She was so worried about him. Like my dad and Auntie Samantha had a very close relationship. Literally, when he was going to Haiti and he ain't tell nobody, he told Auntie Samantha. So all of us are taking this extremely hard. My mom's taking it hard. I'm taking it hard. My dad's taking it hard because Auntie Samantha raised my mom. And that's why it was kind of like an obligation for her to take care of her. And do everything in her power to make her comfortable. And every time she came here, she stayed with my mom. But it was also because a lot of these fuckers, and I say fuckers, okay, because I'm sick of this family, never wanted to actually see her when she would come here, because they would be on the impression of, oh my God, we got to take care of her. Oh my gosh, she's going to ask for money. And that really pisses me off, because when the fuck did any of y'all do anything for this lady? I just want to get all of this shit off my chest, because I don't feel right. Filming other videos on this channel without airing out how I feel about these fuckers, because it's like there's been times, you know, she'd be like, hey, I really want to go see this family member, this place, and they'd be real childish about it and be like, oh well, y'all need to bring her here, we're not gonna pick her up. And it's like, nigga, bro. And I'm talking about like family. I don't know if I talked about this on this channel. I have family that are like legit rich. Like I'm talking about like live in the same neighborhood as Queen Latifah rich. I don't fuck with them because they be acting like they too good to do little shit like pick up Auntie Samantha who wants to spend time with them, right? They don't want to do little shit like saying hello or pulling up to family events. Like they're real bougie. I don't want nothing to do with them. And it's crazy because all of them got egg on their face. All of them sit here crying, doing all of this. And it's like, but what was you doing every time she came here? She came here every year for the past like 5 years or so. And none of y'all cared to spend any time with her. None of y'all try to put up for her expenses. None of y'all try to put up for the plane tickets. But y'all sitting here crying, oh my God, I miss her. Which I'm not saying like you shouldn't. I'm not saying like they shouldn't be crying, but it's just like, where was you at? When she came last year, I cried because she was so sad. She was so sick. And I could tell that it wasn't physical sickness, if that makes sense. If you guys are not aware, because I mean, well, honestly, I might as well tell y'all, right? She basically died. She died from depression. Like, that's basically what it was. I've talked about this a few times, especially like on my Haitian channel. My family had to flee from their home. My family's from Cabaret. My mom and my dad are from two different parts of Cabaret, but for the most part, Cabaret has been overrun with gangs. They've infiltrated at least 3 different times. When I danced recently, if you guys follow me on Instagram, when I did my performance, it was literally to build back the roads in Haiti. Because, yeah, like the gang members destroyed the roads. And although I don't agree with how these gang members are trying to do whatever the fuck they trying to do, I understand that they are a symptom of a bigger problem, which is the government. And none of this is going to stop until they get their shit in order and try to work towards something that is good for all the people. Because this is freaking horrible. My aunt is known for selling food in Haiti. That's what most people know her for, selling goods, selling food. She was the type of person that would give you food or give you whatever it is that you needed and be like, oh, you just pay me back later. You know, like she was the type of person, like if you were hungry, she would feed you. It didn't matter that, you know, you didn't have the $5 or however much she was charging for the food. She was a heavy businesswoman to the point where, I mean, unfortunately, she really didn't take care of Ricardo. My mom did. My mom raised Ricardo. But my mom didn't mind because Auntie Samantha raised her. So unfortunately, when they ran out of Kabare and they had to go to Okap, which is when I'm talking about completely different. Think of the equivalent of like living in New York and having to move to Chicago. Like, I'm talking about like a distance. Like literally they went from like the southwest-ish to like North Haiti. Completely different semantics. Even their Creole sounds different. Like people who speak Creole, like at the end of the day, right? Nous tous Haitiens, we're all Haitian. We can all like speak and understand Creole, but the accent is different, especially in Okap. Their Creole, completely different from a lot of different people. Different lifestyle, different semantics. But her not being able to sell is what fucked her up. Her not being able to make food fucked her up because it was like, she can't do what she loves. And personally, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like I thought, oh, okay, well, she'll pick it back up or they'll be able to go back home. But it just didn't end up being that way. I'm so heartbroken because I wanted her to come and stay here before all of this happened. She was the only one that had a visa. The rest of them pending Biden parole applications. So the whole plan was to get them all over here and then like apply for asylum for her. But unfortunately, right, her daughter, aka the bitch from France that I don't really care for, Yolanda, gonna tell us, oh, well, you know, if y'all gonna file for her directly, you know, do it on y'all own stuff, but don't be, you know, seeking asylum for her. And it's like, who the fuck cares? As long as she's here and she's safe. Like, it just hurts because part of me feels like, damn, like I really could have did more, but I did all I could. She stayed here for a couple months every year. I took care of her. I took her to the doctor. I got her medication. I got her checked out. And the scary part about getting her checked out is it was always like, yeah, you know, high blood pressure. Yeah, okay, well, she's diabetic. But it was never serious. It was never like, oh my God, like life-threatening, put her in the hospital, whatever. But looking at her, you could tell she was struggling. You could tell that she was sick. You could tell like she could barely walk. And it wasn't because she couldn't. It's because she just didn't want to. Her body started failing on her because she was that sad. And that's part of the reason I'm filming and I'm trying to still do work, because I know that the moment I let this shit get to me to the point where I don't want to film and I don't want to do anything, it's going to start messing with my health. And that's what happened to her. She's always had little things like high cholesterol. Everybody on my mom's side has high cholesterol. Even I have high cholesterol. We all have that. But the whole thing of high blood pressure and freaking diabetes, that's my dad's side, not my mom's side. So when she got that, we all were just like, damn, like she's really that stressed. And I remember my mom, when she was sick another time, you know, she tried to tell like, hey, you know, Ivana's going to bring you here and make a restaurant for you. And I was like, why the fuck you telling her that? Like, I was so confused. I was like, what? First of all, no, I ain't. But second of all, why are you telling her that? And that's when it occurred to me like, wow, this is really eating away at her. Like it's fucking her up. And when I realized it was really a thing for real was when apparently, I found this out like 2 weeks ago, where they were, not only have gang members taken over the entire plot, they're now selling food in her place. They stole her home and they stole her business. And as much as I want to sit there and be like, oh, fuck the kidnappers, fuck this, fuck that, they are a symptom of a bigger problem that I know is not going to stop until the source is handled. The Haitian government has let the people down so much, it's not even funny. And even if you're not getting killed or kidnapped by a gang member, you're more than likely going to be greatly affected by their actions. And they know what the fuck they're doing. And they're doing it because they're using the Haitian people as a pawn to get the Haitian government to listen. But at this point, it's just like you guys are hurting the people more. You're hurting yourselves more. The government doesn't give a fuck. And it's just like, who do you really get mad at in this situation? I will say I'm just annoyed because I found out like, yeah, she was in the hospital, but they also said she was fine and she came home. And I feel like they're low-key lying. I feel like she was sicker than they said because she was kind of in and out of the hospital for the past year. The only time she was good was when she was with me, when she was at my mom and my dad's house. But then, you know, she kept complaining she wanted to go back. So it's like, that's why I feel a little hopeless, because I know even if I would have kept her here, she would have been depressed and she would have died here. Because she wanted to be home in her laku, on the family land, selling her food, like she's been doing since she was like 15. She did not want to be held back. She did not want to start something new. And that was another option, right? People were like, you know what, like, why don't we just set her up with a commerce, you know, with a business in Okap? But the fear was selling on somebody else's turf, right? We all know how that works. Like, even shit from drug dealers to regular businesses, we know that when you open something too close to somebody else's, they're gonna feel some type of way. Now they writing Yelp reviews or voying zombie after you, bro. Like, you know, you don't want to step on somebody's toes, right? There's already people selling food. There's already people selling goods. So you don't want to sit there and start something and you're not from the area. Like, literally you're fleeing like gang members from your shit. You come to seek refuge and now you taking money out of people's pockets. It's like, we were afraid, like, okay, somebody will try to throw something at her. You feel me? Personally, I feel like she should have did it anyway. She should have probably found something that people aren't selling and started doing that. But I do understand the concern. They just wouldn't let her do anything, unfortunately. And she spent a lot of time taking care of everyone. The reason I didn't have to spend thousands of dollars to Haiti, even though I sent a good amount before, is because of her business. She was able to take care of everybody. Mind you, there's like 12 people in that laku off of that business. Not being able to support, not being able to provide, but still wanting to was her demise. Her having her home and her business taken away from her unjustly was her demise. And it hurts to even think about that. It hurts to know that, like, she won't be here this year. It hurts to know that this was all due to what these gang members keep doing. It's hard to know that even if she would have stayed here or came here, it wouldn't have helped. She probably would have lived a little longer, but not really. Like, I feel like, to be honest, and I hate to say it like this, these niggas wasn't paying attention. When I asked my mom, like, what happened? Why is she in the hospital? This was like a couple weeks ago, I think, when she went in the top of December. She said, oh, well, they said it's her blood sugar, but apparently, you know, all the family at home, they don't recognize the signs of, like, blood sugar issues, so they weren't aware that her blood sugar was, like, you know, unleveled or whatever. And I'm just like, are you guys fucking incompetent? And I don't know, maybe I'm in my, like, angry grief stage, but at the same time, like, this shouldn't have happened. This is something, like, I felt somebody was gonna pass away, because not only that, my dad's sister, my other aunt, is in and out of the hospital right now too. Auntie Samantha's brother, okay, one of my uncles on my mom's side, is also battling sickness. So I said, okay, well, when I'm telling y'all the feeling of dread and fear I felt the end of last year was insane. Like, I couldn't shake it. I couldn't sleep. I felt anxious. I knew somebody was going to pass away. And that's how I am when somebody passes away. Like, before somebody passes away, that whole month, 2 weeks to a month prior, I always feel sick. And I'm always like, yeah, somebody's going to die. Especially if I can't sleep. As soon as I know I can't sleep, because I sleep. Like, I'm a Capricorn. Y'all know we sleep. As soon as I see, like, yeah, I can't sleep. I can't think straight. Something, like, I get that aura, like something bad's going to happen. I knew somebody was going to die. And those are all three very important people to me, my family. So I was like, damn, this is going to be bad. I don't know who it's going to be. But I didn't think it'd be Auntie Samantha, because they said she was fine. Like, they literally hit us up and they said, oh, she's fine. She's home. My cousin Tiffany called to speak to her, even though they didn't want her to speak to her. And that just makes me wonder, like, damn, were they really, like, lying about something? Because Auntie Samantha was talking just fine to Tiffany. Like, you know, Tiffany called and she was like, hey, can I talk to Auntie Samantha? And they was like, no, she's really sick right now. She's like, give me the fucking phone. Like, give her the phone right now. Like, give her the phone. I want to talk to her. And she was talking. But it makes me wonder, like, was she, like, really not doing well and she was forcing herself to, like, act like she was fine? Because Yolanda spoke to her as well. Yolanda spoke to her after Tiffany and said everything was cool. Spoke to her on New Year's. And she ended up passing away on the 3rd. I just feel so sad that I'm not going to be able to see her again. It's weird not to think about, like, okay, how cheap are the tickets 6 months from now when she's going to be coming? It's weird not to, like, damn, like, I got to shop for her or anything. Like, it's just, she just went out so sad. And I hate it. It'd be different. Like, if she was, like, sick for a very long time and we knew it, or if it was one of those things where, I don't know, I just feel like having her die simply because, like, she was so damn sad. And obviously, right, yeah, there was high blood pressure in play. There's diabetes in play, but that's the thing, she never had any of these issues until she got taken out of her home. This lady was extraordinary. She was happy. She was content, and all of that got ripped away because gang members want to sit here and make a point that they never gonna fucking make. And I don't think they understand they're never gonna make this point. They're never gonna have a seat at the table with the government. That's the whole point of this. If you guys don't know what I talk about, y'all want to know more about like Haitian politics and stuff, I have videos on my Haitian channel. You guys can feel free to check out that channel down below. It's sad. It really is. But I am intelligent to understand that there's more things at play and there's bigger things here that have to be addressed. And unfortunately, people die like this every day. There's people that after running away from the kidnappers just die the next day out of shock. And that's because these Haitians are not used to that. Like, a lot of people see Haiti on the news. They see Haiti going through all of this stuff and they think, oh, well, y'all used to chaos. Y'all used to gang violence. No, nigga, that's the capital. I say this so many times. That is Port-au-Prince, the capital of Haiti. Haiti is an entire country. A majority of Haitians have never seen violence, never seen a gun. A majority of Haitians, okay, contrary to popular belief, are living pretty well in Haiti. They don't have to deal with any of this civil unrest and all of that. Still to this day, even though they're starting to go and attack like random cities and stuff like that, a lot of these Haitians have never seen violence like what's going on in Port-au-Prince. So when it hits their city, they're in shock. When it hits their city, they're like, oh my God, like, and they just can't function. My dad was telling me the other day about a story about a lady who had to flee from Kabare with her daughter, and both of them died out of shock. Like, out of nowhere, like the next day after running, they just died. I don't know how I'm gonna move on from this. I mean, obviously I have to. And I think the only reason I'm able to sit in front of the camera for real is because I know that Auntie Samantha loves my content, especially my dancing content. Dancing is probably out of the question right now. I'm trying to take the week to like grieve, de-stress. But I'm trying to like batch film because I know eventually there's going to be a point where I can't sit in front of the camera. There's going to be a point in time where I just can't function. This shit hit home. A lot of us were really close to her. But I will say I think I'm kind of just angry because it's like, I know I did all that I could, but a lot of y'all fuckers that sit here crying didn't do shit. And I don't like it, especially Ricardo. Ricardo's on this whole like, oh, I don't have any money, I can't go and I can't pitch in. And it's like, oh my God, you fucker. Like, and it's weird because it's like my mom kind of raised Ricardo. So I feel like there's this disconnect he has with his mom. And I've been trying to process it in a way from his perspective. But at the end of the day, it is his mom. And he is taking it hard. Like, apparently the other day, Tiffany told me he was on live smoking hookah looking crazy. I said, Jesus, I'm happy I didn't catch that. Because instead of smoking hookah and spending money on alcohol and doing all this goofy shit, you should have sent that money to Haiti so that they can help bury your mom. I want to go to Haiti, but it's like a $1,300 ticket minimum with 2 stops. Y'all already saw I've been doing a GoFundMe to help with my family and I's expenses. I don't see me being able to go to Haiti. I would love to, because at this point my mom's not gonna be able to go. Ricardo acting like he can't go, and the reason my mom can't go is because like she passes out at funerals. Like, she gets like legitimately ill, has to go to the hospital. It's a whole thing, and ain't nobody trying to go to the hospital in Haiti. She did go to her mom's funeral. I don't know how that happened. I don't know. I don't think she went. I know she went to Haiti, but I don't think she even went or stayed, because it's one of those things like she can't take funerals. So it's just going to look weird. I heard DMX talking about he's going, but he hasn't bought a ticket. Everybody else in the family trying to act like, oh yeah, I'm going. No matter what, I'm going. I don't care if I have to walk, I'm going. And it's like, but half of y'all, you know what? I hate to be a dick, but I have to say it. Half of y'all don't got your own house. Half of these people acting like they going, but they can't even get their affairs in order for regular everyday expenses. So I don't understand how they have anywhere from $1,300 to $2,000 to spend on a ticket. I had a birthday trip to Costa Rica. Thank God I canceled that, because ain't no way I'm going to be able to sit there and sip on mimosas and sit on the beach and do what I got to do while thinking about this. And whatever money I'm going to have to send to whoever, wherever. I will say I thank you guys for being there for me, for sending birthday wishes, sending condolences, donating to the GoFundMe, and most importantly for sending things via my Amazon wish list, because it's been helping. Like, having y'all support and knowing that you'd want me to continue is helping me. But I will say that this hurts. It hurts a lot. And I will say, when it comes to grief, like, shit, from all the people I've had that's passed away in my life in the hood, for real, I've been able to process grief a lot better than most. That's why I'm not really crying anymore, because I'm all cried out. But there's times where I just sit there and I just cry for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, all right, well, back to work. And it's just like, I'm one of those people, I don't like to dwell over things I can't change. And I try to turn every negative into a positive. And I will say this, although it hurts, I did gain an ancestor. And I do see dead people, unfortunately. So I know I will be seeing her eventually. Unfortunately, the people on my mom's side, they don't like to pull up unless something bad's about to happen. And that's how I knew more than likely she was going to pass away, because my grandmother showed up to me like on January 1st. And she died January 3rd. Yeah, my grandmother died December 26th. And then she was buried on my birthday, my 18th birthday. So it's like, okay, I think it's safe to say that the family tends to die December, January at this point. There's a lot of family members that died around this time of the year. She appeared to me, and I was like, all right, it's over. Like, somebody's gonna pass, and it's gonna be either my uncle or my aunt. Because my uncle been struggling for years with alcoholism. And if you guys know anything about alcoholism or any type of addiction, when you try to like not drink anymore or not do that substance, it fucks you up. It fucks you up bad. So he's been going through it. This just sucks. It really does. So, I mean, I did say I was going to take a break from this channel. Consider that still a thing. I'm still going to be posting on my other channels, because it doesn't take much vulnerability. But just sitting here talking about Ricardo, my mom and stuff, it just makes me think about my aunt. So I am going to need some time. I mean, yeah. Thank you guys again for supporting me and being here. I appreciate it more than anything. Yeah, I'm gonna see y'all in my other videos, because I'm gonna be posting on there. As for this channel, I might take a step back for a few weeks. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much again, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.